Hello, my name is George Castro. I'm a real estate broker with Premier Homes, and today I want to bring you the monthly real estate market report as of March of 2021. Lawrence Young, the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, quoted that home sales could possibly reach 8 million if we had more inventory. He actually continued saying mortgage rates should remain very low throughout 2021, although we may have seen the lowest already. The lowest in December was at around 2.5%, and in March of 2021, we have seen the rates go up to above the 3%. Now, Sam Carter, the chief economist of Freddie Mac, said that since reaching a low point in January, mortgage rates have risen by more than 30 basis points, and the impact on purchase demand has been noticeable. While purchase activity remains high, it has cooled off over the last few weeks and is currently on par with early March prior to the pandemic. However, the rise in mortgage rates over the next couple of months is likely to be more muted in comparison to the last few weeks, and we expect a strong spring sales season. One of the questions that I have gotten from home sellers or from real estate agents is the real estate market going to remain strong? And the answer to that is yes. As we see the interest rates go up, we're going to see property values get more stable because, of course, the prices going up at the speed that they are going up at some point will become unsustainable. Now, I want to show you actually the history of the mortgage rates. If you look at what the rates were in January of 2020, you could see that the rate was very close to 3.5% or even 4%. As of December of 2020, the rates actually decreased down to 2.5%, and in 2021, we see an increase of over 3%. But this is not bad news, as I said before, because in my personal opinion, as you see the rates go up, property values begin to level up. Another good news is that although in 2020 we saw many people submitting applications for a loan forbearance in anticipation of losing their job because of the pandemic, many people did not need it, did not use it. 27.9% of the people who applied continued making their monthly mortgage payments despite that they had applied for some type of forbearance, and only 13.8% are still in trouble. I want you to actually look at this chart, and you will be able to see, for example, that the submission of applications of overall forbearances have decreased from May of 2020 to February of 2021. You see May and June are still in red. July, August, and September, as the applications or submission of applications for forbearance began to decrease, they turned orange, and you could see that between October of 2020 to February of 2021, the chart has been decreasing, and it is in blue. I want to show you a report from DS News that reads as follows. About 325,000 people will exit the forbearance program over the next 6 to 9 months without a plan in place, because they have been able to maintain the integrity of the monthly mortgage payments. Some probably, not all of those loans will likely default. but not all. Now, this analysis is important because it shows the housing inventory to start each year, the actual inventory, and the potential foreclosures in 2021. In January of 2016, for example, we see a substantial amount of listings hitting the market, whereas in January of 2021, we see a decrease of a little bit more than 50%. And I attribute this not at any crisis, because there is not. At least we have seen a real estate market that has been very healthy. But actually, either real estate agents are not beginning to target and educate home sellers that the time to sell is now. In the last few months, home sellers or homeowners have been able to see a substantial increase in equity. So definitely the time to sell is now, to put their houses up for sale is now. Now, I want to show you a quote from Odetta Cushy, the Deputy Chief Economist at First American. And this is what the quote reads: "The lack of existing homes available for sale remains the only drag on housing market potential." And she actually continued saying that many homeowners may want to upgrade, but they do not, for fear that they will be unable to find the home that they want to buy, preventing more supply from reaching the market and exacerbating the lack of inventory. As a result, everyone stays put and the supply of homes for sale dwindles further. And that's where the real estate agent comes into place, to educate the consumer, so that the potential home seller or the homeowner who is thinking about upgrading or downgrading, taking advantage of the equity that they have built and realizing that the time to sell is now, the real estate agents have to educate the consumer in what relates to the benefits that selling now could potentially offer to them. Now, I want you to look at this change in listings, year over year change in listings. You see, for example, the green bar is new listings, and the orange bar turning to red is the total listings inventory. One of the things that you see is that as soon as the house comes into the market, is sold, is being purchased, everybody is buying and even offering $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 above asking price. And this is something that is happening throughout the United States territory. Now, I want to show you also a quote from Lawrence Young, the chief economist, again, at the National Association of Realtors. And this is what Young says: "Home sales continue to ascend in the first month of the year, as buyers quickly snatched up virtually every new listing coming into the market. A house hits the market and the house is gone within a week or within just days. Sales easily could have been even 20% higher if there had been more inventory and more choices." So that's an indication that the market is moving in the right direction. The economy is moving in the right direction, and this is definitely a great real estate market. Now, when you want to sell something, when do you want to sell it? You want to sell it when there is fewer of that in the market. And that's what is happening right now. That's why my advice to any person who wants to sell is the time to sell is now, because there is fewer houses in the market right now. Once you see an influx of inventory into the market, prices, of course, begin to come down. And the reason why people are offering $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 above asking price for a property is because there is a lack of inventory. You see, for example, that last January and February was a sweet spot, but today we sit at an even sweeter spot with about average of 1.9 months of active inventory across the country. I want to show you this quote from David Burson, the chief economist at Nationwide Mutual. As the COVID-19 vaccine becomes more available and the economy improves, he predicts, David Burson, that more homeowners realizing the equity gains in their homes will put their properties up for sale, will lease their existing homes. And that could help alleviate some housing shortages. So for the real estate agents, this is the time to begin educating the home sellers about the positive impact in the real estate market in the future as the real estate and the economy improves. Now, I want to show you something. This graphic is quite important because that brings us to this point. Probably one of the big pieces right now that people are talking about is home appreciation. We have got some final numbers in from last year, and that's what I want to talk about. As property values increase and appraisals come in at the figure that is reflected on the contract, that in many cases was higher than the original listing price, you're going to see the market to adjust at a much higher price. All the properties within the vicinity are going to get adjusted at a much higher price. Now, that of course is good news for home sellers, good news for real estate agents. Now, this one actually, the 2020 final appreciation numbers are in. So we see that property values are appreciating too fast. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But it is good to see property values appreciating, which leads to an increase in the equity of homeowners that may want to take advantage of by selling their house at a higher price. Lawrence Young, the chief economist at NAR, also quoted a typical homeowner in 2020, just by being a homeowner, would have accumulated around $24,000 in housing wealth. Now, while that's a fact in 2020 for the average homeowner, it is also a fact for the future. And those are not homeowners. The ones that are not homeowners do not have that opportunity to build that wealth. But we see that that is also going to happen in 2021. Mark Fleming, the chief economist at First American, said that nationally, house buying power continues to exceed the median sales price, and that implies housing is not overvalued today. If we compare the prices of 2021 versus the prices of 2006 or 2007, before the collapse of the real estate market, we see a big difference, this being 2007 and this being 2021. So I want to tell you what the home prices forecast is going to be for 2021. As we look forward to this year and what experts are saying about appreciation, they are upgrading the forecast for appreciation 5.9% averages of all forecasts. Why is this? I think they are saying, hey, look, we don't see maybe as much inventory coming back. But no doubt forecasters are saying it is going to come from builders. It is going to come from those that put it off for a short while. It is going to come as people begin to feel more safe. It is going to come by those that are affected or that were affected by the pandemic. Now, I want to show you, for example, the annual home appreciation of the year 2002, 2003, 4, and 5 compared to 2017, 18, 19, and 20. In this chart, you will be able to see, for example, that the average annual appreciation of the 4 years, 2, 3, 4, and 5, were at 10.3%, whereas in 2017, 2018, 19, and 20, the average annual appreciation is at 6.3%. If you really look at the chart, before the collapse of the market in 2005, it was at 11.4% compared to 9.2% in 2020. So property values have not reached yet that figure of the year 2005, 2006, before the collapse of the real estate market. Now, what we see, for example, in 2020, and I'm going to do same comparison actually of what is happening with the real estate market in some sections of the United States compared to what happened in the last quarter of 2005. So we see actually a big difference between the last quarter of 2005 compared to what is happening in 2020, where the values of properties are increasing at a totally different pace. So certainly we have not yet reached the prices of the 2005 before the collapse of the real estate market. I wanted to show you a quote from Fannie Mae. Consumers reported a significantly more positive view of home selling conditions. Home sellers and buyers are influenced by what they believe, what they think. What they believe is generated from what they read, the news that they see. And we have got to get this message out there. That's why it is important for real estate agents to educate the consumer so they hear what they should hear, because sometimes the news or what they read is not necessarily a representation of accuracy. That's why real estate professionals need to get out there and explain this to home sellers and home buyers. It is on us to go out and educate clients about what is really happening with prices across this country. Now I want to tell people who want to sell a house that we have our Spring 2021 seller guide. It is available in our website. You can go to www.premierhomespros.com. It is printed below, and you can download this guide. And we also have the home buyer's guide available in our website. You can visit our website below, or you can call me at the number also that appears on the screen at any time. Again, my name is George Castro, and I'm very happy to be providing you with all this information.